to Broom with the CBC News Break. Barbadians appear to have become less supportive of corporal punishment in either the schools or the home. This is the main finding, according to researcher Peter Wickham, who has been studying the topic over the last 10 years. He told a UNICEF Forum on Discipline that in 2004, 80% of people supported corporal punishment in the home and 69% supported it in the schools. But Mr. Wickham says those numbers have dropped steadily over the years.
In 2009, it had dropped to 75% in the home, 54% in schools, and in 2014, it has dropped, it is at 77%, which means it's relatively holding in the home, and it's now at 50% in schools. Over that period of time, we have seen a 90% drop in support for corporal punishment in the school, and a marginal 3% drop for corporal punishment in the home. Essentially,
Mr. Wickham, the Principal Director of Caribbean Development Research Services, or CADRES, says 61% of Barbadians wanted corporal punishment reintroduced into the penal system.
In 1999, 74%, which is when the first time we did the survey, wanted to see a reintroduction of corporal punishment for adults. So it's actually untrue to say that people do not think that the same thing holds for adults. There are a majority of people in this country in Barbados that would like to see adults being beaten as well. Our current Governor General, no less, supported the idea of corporal punishment to be used against an adult. The fascinating thing is that we had a court case in which the appeal court made it clear that such things are cruel and unusual punishment, and we now understand that we protect adults from corporal punishment. But for some fascinating reason, we are not willing to exercise the same level of protection for children who have done nothing.
The head of the Criminal Justice Research and Planning Unit is appealing to law enforcement agencies and local authorities to provide more data to the agency. Director Cheryl Willoughby says it's the only way that her office can form policy needed to properly address the issue of crime. She made the call at the opening of a two-day national conference on evidence-based crime observation and analysis at the Savannah Hotel.
I'm hopeful that moving forward as a country, we can continue to work together to ensure that we have the type of data that would allow us to make good decisions about our citizens' security as well as plans for the new generation coming after us, because decisions that we make now are decisions that will impact our children, our grandchildren, in essence, the future of Barbados.
The initiative is also sponsored by the United Nations Development Programme, and its representative for Barbados and the OECS, Stephen O'Malley, says an evidence-based approach is the best way to tackle crime and make citizens feel more secure.
Citizen security should not be seen exclusively as a reduction in crime rates, but as a wider set of improvements in well-being. And this implies a strategy that includes elements focused on improvement of quality of life, community action on crime prevention, agile and effective justice systems, and an educational system that's based on values, respect for the law, and for human rights. It's imperative that such a strategy is grounded in evidence that both informs the design of the projects and of the strategy, but is also used for real-time monitoring and evaluation. We cannot do things because it's the way we have always done them.
Barbados is targeting the hearing impaired as it seeks to educate more vulnerable groups about the link between HIV and AIDS and drug use and abuse. The Ministry of Home Affairs and the National Council on Substance Abuse have been working on the project and jointly hosted a seminar for members of the hearing impaired community at the NCSA's office at Belleville. Behavioral Change Communication Specialist in the HIV and AIDS Commission, Alexis Nurse, who delivered a presentation on HIV testing, told CBC News it is an area that requires special focus.
I think it's really important that we do target the hearing impaired. We've worked with them quite significantly to try to ensure that they understand and have the same information that the rest of Barbados has, because I think we have done a lot of work with the general public, but you know, we have special pockets within our societies that really need special interventions for them, and I think the hearing impaired is one, and that we need to really work to make sure that they have the same access to the same information that all the rest of Barbados has.
Community Program Officer at the NCSA, Makeda Bourne, says the Division of Youth Affairs has also been brought on board to help in the effort to educate members of the hearing impaired community.
The partnership with Youth Affairs is one that is different because we will be looking at the information they have gathered over these 6 years, that now there will be an output from all the government has been investing in them through the different teaching on HIV and drugs, and we are hoping that they can produce different PSAs, different advertisements, different infomercials that can target their population, that they can spread the information about the harmful effects of drugs, as well as the way how they can choose to be healthy, and the information about HIV and AIDS.
Barbados will be added to the growing list of concert venues for the Brooklyn Tabernacle Singers. The group, consisting of close to 20 members, is a cohort of the award-winning Brooklyn Tabernacle Choir. Brooklyn Tabernacle, established in 1847, is a non-denominational church in downtown Brooklyn, one of the biggest in the greater New York area. They will be staging a free concert on March 11th at Kensington Oval. Representative Pastor Timothy Arthur says the aim of the concert is to inspire and uplift Barbadians.
We're often confronted with challenges that seem to grow exponentially on a daily basis. If you look around you with the economic downturn, challenges with jobs, youth disenchantment, family crises, the concert is aimed at bringing some measure of hope, healing and restoration.
Director of Marketing at the Barbados Tourism Marketing Incorporated, Robert Chase, says the concert fits in line with the push of faith-based travel.
Faith-based travel has probably been one of the oldest reasons to travel the world that ever existed. It brings together communities and people, and at the same time it carries the gospel and the word of God across the globe, which again helps to unite and uplift people. And we think travel is one of the vehicles by which people are raised to a higher standard and brought to appreciate each other even better.
Time for a break now, but when we come back, regional and international news.